You might be swallowing danger every morning and not even know it. That's not fear-mongering, that's science. A recent study in translational research found that some common supplements, when taken by older adults without proper guidance, can quietly damage your heart, liver, nerves, even your brain. Sounds shocking? It should, especially because many of these supplements are marketed as healthy or essential for aging bodies. But after 60, your biology changes, your metabolism slows, your organs become more sensitive, and what once helped you may now hurt you. This video is especially for you if you're over 60 or caring for someone who is. We're going to uncover 4 common vitamins or minerals that could be silently harming your health, even if you've been told they're good for seniors. Have you been feeling more tired lately? Stiff in the joints? A little foggy in the brain? You might be blaming age. But what if the real culprit is something in your supplement drawer? Let's start by removing the quiet saboteurs. 4 supplements to avoid after 60. Of all 4, iron. If you're not deficient, iron often feels like a no-brainer, especially when you're feeling a little tired or sluggish. It's in many senior multivitamins and often marketed as a quick fix for fatigue, brittle nails, or low energy. And because it's been linked to anemia and low blood counts, many folks over 60 assume more is better. But here's the thing. If your body isn't losing iron, it's storing it. And once that extra iron starts piling up, it doesn't just sit there harmlessly. It can become toxic over time. As we age, our need for iron drops sharply. Women after menopause and men past puberty usually stop losing iron naturally. So unless you've got a specific condition like internal bleeding or a diagnosed deficiency, your daily iron supplement may be slowly fueling a silent threat inside your body. The problem? Iron is not water-soluble. That means your body doesn't easily flush out the excess like it would with, say, vitamin C. Instead, it stores it in your liver, heart, and pancreas, where it can promote oxidative stress, a fancy term for cellular wear and tear. Think of it like rust inside your organs. Too much iron can trigger joint pain, chronic fatigue, irregular heartbeat, memory issues. Sound familiar? That's the catch. These symptoms are often chalked up to just getting older. But in many cases, they're the quiet consequences of iron overload. A 2018 review published in Translational Research linked excessive iron levels in older adults to increased risks of heart disease, liver dysfunction, and even neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. It's not an exaggeration. Iron buildup is being taken seriously in the world of aging and chronic disease prevention. First, don't panic. This doesn't mean iron is evil. It means it needs to be personalized. Step 1. Ask your doctor for a serum ferritin test and transferrin saturation panel. These will tell you exactly where your iron levels stand. If you're in the clear and still taking an iron-heavy multivitamin just to be safe, it might be time to switch to one labeled iron-free, especially if you're not menstruating or recovering from blood loss. Focus on food. Leafy greens, lentils, tofu, beans, and even iron-fortified grains can provide what you need without overloading your system. And the best part? Your body can regulate how much iron it absorbs from food much more efficiently than from supplements. Just because iron is in your supplement doesn't mean your body asked for it. Think of it like getting 3 birthday cakes in 1 week. It's sweet in theory, but eventually your system says, "Please stop, I can't take any more." Oh, Halfium, without D3 and K2. If there's one supplement almost every senior has heard about, it's calcium. Doctors recommend it. Commercials promise stronger bones, and pharmacies line their shelves with bone support pills, many of them with calcium front and center. So it makes sense, right? You want to stay strong, avoid fractures, and keep your independence. But here's the twist. Calcium alone isn't enough. In fact, taking it by itself may backfire. Why it's risky after 60. Your body's ability to direct calcium to your bones depends on 2 key nutrients, vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. Without them, calcium can't find its way to the skeleton. Instead, it ends up wandering into the wrong places, like your arteries, joints, or kidneys. And once calcium starts to settle in your soft tissues, that's when problems show up. Hardened arteries, kidney stones, joint stiffness, higher risk of stroke or heart attack. What's worse is that these issues don't scream loudly at first. You might just feel bloated, constipated, or a little more creaky than usual. And again, it's easy to blame aging, when in fact, you might just be overloading on the wrong kind of calcium. A 2012 study in the British Medical Journal found that calcium supplements, especially without co-nutrients, were linked to an increased risk of heart attacks in older adults. And the Journal of the American Heart Association echoed this concern, noting a correlation between calcium supplements and arterial calcification in seniors. After 60, your bones don't soak up calcium like a sponge anymore. Hormonal changes, especially after menopause, slow that absorption process. So even if you're taking 1,000 milligrams a day, much of it may go to waste, or worse, end up where it shouldn't. Don't ditch calcium entirely, just be smarter about it. Get your calcium primarily from whole foods, sardines, with bones, yogurt, tofu, almonds, kale, chia seeds. If you need a supplement, make sure it includes D3 and K2. These are the traffic cops that help escort calcium safely to your bones. Avoid calcium carbonate, commonly found in cheap supplements. Opt for calcium citrate, which is better absorbed and gentler on the gut. If your stomach struggles with dairy, or you're on acid blockers, you might not be absorbing calcium from food efficiently either. That's why pairing it with D3 to boost absorption and K2 to guide placement is essential. Don't fall for the more is more trap. Your bones don't need a megadose. They need a well-guided team effort. Coming up next, a vitamin that sounds like a skin and vision booster, but can slowly become toxic with age. And the symptoms might already be showing up in your joints and your vision. R2. Vitamin A, retinol. Vitamin A is often seen as a health hero. It's in skincare ads, multivitamins, and immune support blends. It's known to help with vision, skin, and cell repair. 3 things most people want to protect as they age. So when you see it on the label, it feels like a good sign. But not all vitamin A is created equal. And after 60, one form in particular can quietly become a health hazard. Retinol, or retinol palmitate, the synthetic, preformed version. Here's what most people don't know. Vitamin A in retinol form is fat-soluble, which means it's stored in your liver and fatty tissues. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, it doesn't flush out easily. And the older you get, the slower your liver works, which means that excess builds up over time. Now, imagine taking a daily multivitamin with synthetic retinol for years. Over time, that buildup can become toxic. The symptoms? They're subtle and sneaky. Dry skin or itchy rashes, blurred vision, joint pain, dizziness or fatigue. Sound familiar? You might chalk it up to just getting older, but in reality, it could be chronic vitamin A overload. A 2022 review in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that excessive intake of preformed vitamin A in older adults was linked to a 25% higher risk of atrial fibrillation, a dangerous heart rhythm disorder that significantly raises stroke risk. That's a big deal, especially since many seniors are unknowingly stacking retinol through multivitamins, liver supplements, or cod liver oil, not realizing it accumulates. Check your supplement label. If it says retinol or retinol palmitate, and the dosage exceeds 700 milligrams per day for women, or 900 milligrams per day for men, it's time to take a closer look. Especially if you're already eating animal products or fortified foods, you may be well over the safe limit. Beta-carotene is the plant-based precursor to vitamin A, found in sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, mangoes, and even pumpkin. It lets your body convert only what it needs and ignores the rest. It's nature's way of adding a safety valve. Instead of relying on synthetic forms, aim to meet your vitamin A needs through a colorful plate and a well-rounded diet. Your body knows how to handle that better than any capsule. If you're taking a vision or skin formula with retinol, it might be doing the opposite of what you hoped, making your skin dry, your joints ache, and your heart work harder than it should. Up next, a vitamin that people take for energy and brain support. At high doses, it can quietly destroy your nerves. And the scary part? The damage can become permanent before you even realize it. Number 1. Vitamin B6, high doses. If you've ever reached for a supplement promising to boost your brain, improve energy, or support your nerves, chances are you've taken vitamin B6. It's often bundled into B-complex blends, multivitamins, energy drinks, and even nerve support formulas. And because it's water-soluble, many assume it's harmless. Your body just pees out the extra, right? Well, not quite. Here's what most people, and even some doctors, overlook. While vitamin B6 is water-soluble, it doesn't behave like other vitamins in that category. At high doses, especially from supplements, it accumulates in your nerve tissue, and once it builds up, it can become neurotoxic, damaging the very nerves it's supposed to support. This risk is especially high in older adults, whose liver detox slows down, and who may already be dealing with nerve stress from diabetes, thyroid issues, or medications. Silent symptoms to watch for. The signs of B6 toxicity are subtle at first, but dangerous if ignored. Tingling or numbness in your hands and feet. A burning or crawling sensation in your legs. Loss of balance or coordination, muscle weakness. Many people write this off as neuropathy or just aging, but in reality, it could be a toxic reaction to taking too much B6. The research backs it up. A 2021 paper in Nutrients confirmed that long-term use of high-dose B6, often as little as 50 milligrams per day over time, can cause nerve damage, especially in adults over 60. Yet many brain-boosting and energy support pills contain 100 to 250% or more of the recommended limit in just one serving. Women over 50, 1.5 milligrams per day. Men over 50, 1.7 milligrams per day. That's it. And you can get that easily from food: chickpeas, tuna, bananas, turkey, spinach, fortified cereal, all naturally B6 rich. If your multivitamin or nerve support formula contains more than 5 to 10 milligrams of B6 per serving, and you're taking it daily, that could be enough to trigger toxicity over time. The worst part? Nerve damage from B6 can take months to heal or may never fully reverse. Don't let good intentions turn into bad outcomes. You started taking B6 to feel sharper or stronger, but too much can quietly make you weaker, foggier, and more unsteady. Check your labels. Add up all sources of B6, multivitamins, drink mixes, energy supplements. Talk to your doctor if you're experiencing numbness, tingling, or unexplained balance issues. Stick to food-based sources unless you have a confirmed deficiency. You've just seen the 4 supplements that may do more harm than good after 60. But don't worry, we're not leaving you hanging. Up next, we'll shift from warning to action as we count down the 4 nutrients that could help you stay energized, sharp, and mobile well into your golden years. 4. Magnesium in the right form. Let's be honest, magnesium doesn't get the spotlight it deserves. It's not flashy like vitamin C or as trendy as collagen. But once you pass 60, this quiet mineral becomes one of your body's most valuable allies. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions. It helps your heart keep rhythm, your muscles contract smoothly, your brain stay alert, and your blood sugar stay balanced. Without enough of it, things slowly start to break down. As you age, several factors quietly drain your magnesium stores. Reduced absorption in the gut, increased loss through the kidneys, common medications like diuretics, acid reducers, and blood pressure meds strip it from your body. So even if you're eating healthy, you might still be running low, and you won't know it right away. Silent signs of magnesium deficiency: muscle cramps, especially at night, fatigue and daytime drowsiness, irregular heartbeat or palpitations, poor sleep quality, anxiety or brain fog. And just like with other age-related symptoms, these issues often get brushed off as just part of getting older. But sometimes the real issue is simply not having enough magnesium. Low magnesium levels in older adults have been linked to increased risk of dementia, higher chances of type 2 diabetes, worsening blood pressure control. Source: Journal of the American Geriatric Society, 2020. Not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Some pass right through your system with little absorption. Others can cause stomach upset. Avoid magnesium oxide, poorly absorbed, often causes diarrhea. Choose magnesium glycinate, gentle on digestion, calming. Magnesium citrate, good absorption, supports regularity. Magnesium malate, great for muscle and energy support. Most seniors benefit from 250 to 400 milligrams per day, depending on diet and medications. Always check with your healthcare provider if you're on prescriptions or have kidney concerns. While supplementation helps, magnesium-rich foods should still be your foundation. Leafy greens like spinach, Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds, avocados, almonds, black beans, dark chocolate. Yes, it counts. If you've been blaming stress, stiffness, or poor sleep on aging, it might just be a quiet magnesium deficiency knocking on your door. Let's talk about vitamin D3. DUPS number 3. Vitamin D3. You've probably heard that vitamin D is good for bones, but after 60, vitamin D3 becomes much more than a bone vitamin. It acts more like a hormone, one that controls everything from immune defense to mood balance to cognitive health. The problem is, after 60, your body gets worse at making it naturally. Even if you're out in the sun, your skin no longer produces as much vitamin D as it did decades ago. Add in sunscreen, indoor lifestyles, or winter months, and deficiency becomes very real, very fast. Why deficiency is common in older adults. Your skin loses efficiency in synthesizing vitamin D from sunlight. Your kidneys slow down in converting it into its active form. You may eat less D-rich foods, like oily fish or fortified milk. And if you're on acid blockers or statins, those can interfere too. What low D3 can feel like: low mood or even depression, fatigue that coffee can't fix, frequent colds or respiratory infections, achy bones or muscles, brain fog or forgetfulness. Again, many older adults dismiss these signs as just aging. But a simple blood test might show your vitamin D levels are lower than ideal, and boosting them could bring real improvement. A 2020 review in the British Medical Journal found that seniors with vitamin D deficiency had a 50% higher risk of respiratory infections and a 30% increased risk of death from all causes. Other studies link low D3 to dementia, osteoporosis, and even heart disease. That's a lot of power packed into one simple vitamin. How to get it right? Best form: vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, not D2. Best dose: for most adults over 60, 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day is a safe and effective range. Some may need more, especially if their levels are clinically low. Ask your doctor. Best time: take with your biggest meal of the day, preferably one that includes healthy fats, like olive oil or avocado. That improves absorption dramatically. Food sources help too. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Egg yolks. Fortified foods like dairy or plant-based milk. But again, food alone often isn't enough after 60, so supplementation becomes essential. You might hear, just get 10 minutes of sunshine. But for many older adults, that's simply not enough. Especially if you live in northern areas, have darker skin, or spend most of your time indoors. So if the winter blues hit you even in July, your vitamin D3 might need a check. Coming up next, the brain-boosting, nerve-protecting vitamin that most seniors are quietly deficient in, and it may be the hidden cause behind your memory lapses, leg weakness, or balance issues. Let's talk about vitamin B12. 2. Vitamin B12. The nerve protector. Vitamin B12 is often overlooked, but after 60, it becomes a non-negotiable for brain, nerve, and energy support. It helps your body make red blood cells, repair nerves, and keep your memory sharp. Yet here's the kicker. Even if you're eating a healthy diet, your body may not be absorbing B12 effectively anymore. That's because as we age, our stomachs produce less acid, and acid is crucial for unlocking B12 from food sources like meat, fish, and eggs. Add in common meds like metformin or antacids, and your chances of deficiency go way up. Subtle symptoms to watch for: low energy or constant fatigue, memory lapses or brain fog, numbness or tingling in hands and feet, unsteady walking, leg weakness, mood changes or depression. Sound familiar? These signs often sneak in gradually and get mislabeled as aging, arthritis, or even early dementia. But in reality, it might just be low B12 knocking at the door. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that up to 20% of adults over 60 are B12 deficient, and most don't know it. Long-term deficiency has been linked to brain shrinkage, cognitive decline, and increased fall risk due to poor coordination and muscle weakness. Why food alone may not cut it. B12 is found in animal-based foods: beef, eggs, dairy, and fish. But if your stomach acid is low, which happens naturally with age, your body can't extract the B12 effectively, no matter how much steak you eat. What works best? Sublingual tablets, dissolved under the tongue, methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin forms, daily dose. Most seniors do well with 500 to 1,000 micrograms per day, though higher doses may be needed if you're very deficient. The good news? It's water-soluble, so your body flushes out what it doesn't need. Some people benefit from B12 injections, especially if absorption is very poor or deficiency symptoms are advanced. If your doctor hasn't tested your B12 levels recently, it's worth asking. A simple blood test could reveal what's behind your energy dips, clumsy moments, or fading memory. Coming up next, the powerhouse nutrient that fights inflammation, protects your heart, feeds your brain, and has been linked to a 36% lower risk of death in older adults. Let's dive into the mighty omega-3s. Number 1. Omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. Think of omega-3s as the body's maintenance crew. These healthy fats work behind the scenes to protect your heart, brain, joints, and even your lifespan. After 60, they're not just helpful, they're vital. Your body doesn't produce EPA and DHA on its own, so you must get them through food or supplements. Unfortunately, most seniors don't get nearly enough, especially if they eat little seafood or follow a low-fat diet. Without sufficient omega-3s, your body becomes prone to inflammation, brain fog and memory lapses, irregular heartbeat, joint stiffness and discomfort, slower recovery from illness. These symptoms don't come overnight. They creep in quietly, and many seniors chalk them up to normal aging. But studies show that omega-3 deficiency accelerates that decline. A major European study published in Clinical Nutrition followed 42,000+ adults over 60 and found that those with higher blood levels of omega-3s had a 36% lower risk of death from all causes. That's not a typo, 36%, and it gets better. A Circulation Journal study found omega-3 supplementation reduced fatal heart attack risk by 45%. Additional research links EPA, DHA intake with improved mood, sharper memory, and reduced risk of Alzheimer's. How to get enough? From food: salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies. These cold water fish are naturally rich in EPA and DHA. From supplements: choose a high-quality fish oil with at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day. If you have heart or inflammatory conditions, your doctor may recommend closer to 2,000 milligrams per day. Algae-based omega-3s are a great alternative for vegans or those with fish allergies. Look for DHA-rich formulas, ideally combined with EPA. Not all fish oils are created equal. Choose one that's molecularly distilled for purity, third-party tested. Triglyceride form for better absorption. Take it with a meal that contains fat to improve uptake and reduce that fishy aftertaste many people dread. You might not feel omega-3s working like you do caffeine or painkillers, but over time, they help your cells communicate better, reduce silent inflammation, and protect your heart and brain from aging's wear and tear. If you're over 60 and not actively getting omega-3s from fish or supplements, you may be missing out on one of the most powerful forms of nutritional insurance available. These fatty acids don't just help you live longer, they help you stay you longer. Let's take a step back. You now know there are 4 common supplements that, when taken blindly, can slowly work against your health after 60. Iron, calcium without its partners, synthetic vitamin A, and high-dose B6. Each one has the potential to cause real measurable harm if not personalized. But here's the good news. Awareness is power. Your body is wise. It doesn't need more pills. It needs the right support, at the right time, in the right form. And you've just taken a big step toward that wisdom. If you take away one thing from this video, let it be this. What worked for your body at 30 might be working against it at 60. But with just a few smart changes, you can still thrive, with energy, clarity, and confidence. I'd love to hear from you. Which supplement surprised you most today? Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. I read every one. If this helped you, hit like. Subscribe to Healthy Aging Vault for more practical science-backed tips to age with strength and intention. And if you're curious, check your supplement labels today. It might just be the best health decision you make this week. Here's to fewer pills and a lot more peace of mind.